Hello YouTube, I'm going to show you a basic priest deck versus heroic Saf. I had to face this guy probably about 10 to 12 times to beat him, so this deck doesn't have the highest win rate, so roughly 8% win rate from my experience, and that's from me getting used to playing it well as well. So, your win rate with it initially might be around 5%, but once you get how to play the deck, it should go up to around 10%. Anyway, I just wanted to beat every single heroic boss with a basic priest deck. That was my goal, to show that that could be done. And yeah, so it took me a while. Like I said, it took me about 12 games, but here's the strat. So Sapphiron's primary way of dealing damage to you is through his minions. And he has a few spell cards, I think 2 in his whole deck, that do 8 damage directly. So my idea was that I would just wipe all the minions he plays by using charged creatures and creatures that can use their effects right away to deal damage, and just wipe him, just trade him card for card until he's decked out. And he decks out generally faster than you because he has a lot more draw power. He plays a lot. He plays tons of those 2/1 gnomish guys. He has more than 2 in his deck, and then so he keeps drawing. He outdraws you in this game. So he's gonna essentially, as you're gonna see in this video, deck out with, while I have like 4 or 5 cards, and he's totally decked out. So he's gonna deal 5 plus, he's gonna deal 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 damage before I even take any damage, and I'm gonna be healing myself for those 5 turns. So that was the concept, was that if I can get to that point, I would win. And yeah, so quick overview is I use things to wipe the field, like Holy Novas and Abominations, and Circle of Healings and Akanai Soul Priest, as well as wherever he's at, Wild Pyromancer, to just do 1 to everything, or Wild Pyromancer, Holy Nova, deal 3 damage to everything. And he has a lot of creatures with 3 defense and 2 defense, so it becomes really, really nice. Since he has a lot of creatures with 2 defense, Bluegill Warrior is an amazing removal card. And in fact, all creatures with charge I viewed as removal. So if I can just play that creature and attack another creature, I just thought this is a card that says for 2 mana, deal 2 damage to any creature you want. So, or to face. So I kind of viewed it as a kind of a holy smite, the Bluegill Warrior. And same thing with the Reckless Rocketeer. It's deal 5 damage to any creature, and it gets around creatures that have protection from being targeted. Anyway, so that was the strategy, and then I'll go ahead and show you the game. So again, this is a basic priest deck, so I don't really have any good cards. It's all common cards except for like Akanai Soul Priest, no legendaries. I get rid of all those cards. They're all too high. I want some low drops so I can deal with his early pressure. And this is decent. Um, I view Nerubian Egg and the whatever the hell that card's called as just a delayed bluegill, or just a delayed 4 damage. So it's like a delayed charge. It's like says, hey, I'm immune to everything, and I'll be able to charge for you next turn. So that's kind of how I think about it. Now you wonder why I didn't drop the Nerubian Egg here. Like I said, I played this guy like 12 times, so I'm very experienced his how his mana curve goes. And when I have 4 damage, I want to kill one of his big creatures with my 4 damage cards. I do not want to be killing a 3/2 when I have bluegills that can take care of him, or a Holy Nova, or an Abomination, or tons and tons of cards can take care of this. But not as many cards I have to take care of his 4/4s and 4/3s. So that's what I want him for. But it's going to be turn 4, and by turn 4 he usually plays one of his bigger cards. So that's going to make him really useful at this point. And that's why I delayed him. And really, I just ignore Mana Worms because they only ping for like 1 damage. So I intend to get rid of them through AoE. I don't plan to use a Shadow Word Pain on them. I don't plan to use anything on them. So here I go. I'm really glad I waited to play that. and looks like I'm going to deal 4 damage to that, and Holy Nova, and yeah, so that guy's annoying, but thankfully he's only a 4/2, so my Smite will be able to take care of him next turn. Or this even better opportunity comes up. I was intending to smite him next turn, but since he played that guy, just use that against him. And here, you might want to heal, but there's a pretty good chance he might play a 4-drop as well, so this is really a coin toss. If he plays a big creature here, I could be screwed. But he played 2 small creatures last turn, so perhaps it suggested that he was out of the larger ones, but he has some. So at this point, you have 2 options. Either just clear the damage on the board, and I obviously get rid of the 4/4 with a 4/3. And I think I made the right choice because it lets you draw a card. So it still gives you tempo and saves you 4 health. And here I'm trying to decide what happens if I Holy Smite this turn versus next turn. And I realize that next turn I'll have 8 mana, and I'll basically be able to still play out my entire turn identically, whether I play the Holy Smite this turn or next turn. So I decided to save the Holy Smite in case I get a 3/1 Wolf Rider and just deal with him that way, and then I didn't waste my Smite. So here's like a great time for a Holy Nova to pop up, or an Abomination, or a Circle of Healing. See, you just have like a lot of cards that can deal 2 damage to the board, and this is probably one of the best cards I could get. Here I'm about to play because I'm eager to wipe the board, but I realize this is a late game, and it's much better to heal myself before I do that, because my strategy is to deck him out. So I have really good card value on him right now, and I'm trying to decide, do I need to play that or that? And I was like, you know what? I'll play. I think I go with. I think I go with the Haunted Creeper because that way, if he plays a low drop. Okay, well, apparently I went with the egg. See if it. Well, I guess it worked out better that way. Though the Haunted Creeper wouldn't have been terrible, I would have taken care of the 3/2, but this, of course, is the much stronger play. The less risky play. And here I know I'm going to heal myself, and I'm probably debating, do I play the Haunted Creeper, or do I try and save it? And here I'm just trying to weigh like how many creatures has he played. And if he's not going to play a creature next turn, I don't want to be playing this card. And then I also remembered if he did play a creature, then I had Mind Control. So that was the reason why I didn't play these, is because I knew I had Mind Control to deal with the next creature he played. And as you can see, I just view Mind Control as just, hey, kill a card. Kill a targetable card. Here I am getting a little nervous. I kind of want to play Holy Fire to his face, but I know that's not a smart move. So I decided just to prep for next turn and just see, what happens. If he's playing a creature, at least I'll have something to deal with it. That's often what those eggs and these Haunted Creepers are for, is just prepping for the next turn. Like, in case he plays something, I want to have something on the field ready to attack. And like I said, just play the Nerubian eggs when you feel he's going to have a high drop ready for you. So like later in the game, Nerubian eggs. Early in the game, like Haunted Creepers. And that's why the Abusive Sergeant comes in so handy, is because he works well with the Haunted Creeper or the Nerubian egg or any of the Wolf Rider or the Bluegill to kill a 4/4 or 4/5 or 4/6, whatever it happens to be. Yeah, here I think I make the right call. Use that spell instead of Holy Fire. Because Holy Fire can get rid of a creature with much higher defense, so. And this is exactly what the Wolf Rider's in here for. Like, literally, it's for this card. It's also because it's a good card. But Wolf Rider's in here for the 4/3, and Bluegill's in here is for the 3/2 fairy. So they trade off very well. Now this is a guy I don't mind him sitting on. He's just going to deal 1 damage to me a turn. I'm not too worried about that. This Haunted Creeper is a really strong play here because it makes my Abusive Sergeant combo with the creatures really nice to clear that off if I need to. Unfortunately, he blizzards, but it's not always bad that he blizzard because I would rather him blizzard this than blizzard like a Nerubian Egg. So after the Nerubian Egg hatches, you get a 4/4 with him, and he'll blizzard that, and that's exactly what you don't want to see. And here my Shadow Madness comes in handy. I'm able to get a 2-for-1 here, or no, 2-for-2 I guess, but I draw a card. Yeah, there's nothing else to do here. I mean, I don't know why I'm thinking so long. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm probably just a little worried just because the game is so close. And yeah, 8 cards to 6. See how he always has like a few more cards than you? And so that tells you he didn't draw, at least he didn't draw a creature that costs 5 mana. That's what you could say for sure. And here there's just no point to play my spells. There's no point just to attack him to the face. I might as well let him play out his cards and then deal with them as he plays them. Now here I was very perplexed on how to deal with it. I'm like, you know what? I can be very low. I cannot just pass turn. So I'm deciding, should I kill it? Should I pass turn and then kill it next turn to get more value out of it? And I make a really good play here. It's like after I do this, I feel like, hey, I should go kill it. I'm like, wait, you know what? At 20 health, I knew I'd be safe. Like he could deal 5 plus 8, and that was it. And he would then pass turn back to me. And I would have 10 health left. So this is a much better play, was just to be a little patient here. And this is really crucial with this deck, is being patient and getting as much value as possible. So now I'm trying to contemplate. See, this is another way he gets ahead of me. Look, he gets ahead of me another 2 cards. Now he's 4 cards ahead of me because of these draws. So now I'm like, okay, how's the best way to deal with this board? And I think I come up with the most, one of the most efficient solutions. I think this and A-Bomb are pretty close, but this keeps you a little safer in case he somehow magically is just able to do a lot of damage next turn. But there's really nothing in his deck. Like even if I was at 19 right now instead of 21, let's say I played the Abomination, I'm still in a very similar situation. So. And here, there's just no choice. Just get rid of that 4/6 as quick as possible. And here, I actually make a misplay because I was a little worried for some reason. I was trying to be imaginative. Like, what could he possibly have in his deck? And I was kind of annoyed that I couldn't. Like, what I think I should have did was Abusive Sergeant, Bluegill, Abomination. I think that's the play I should have did. And that would have left me with the Rocket and the Wolf Rider for whatever else he played. So that's 8 damage. Should be able to kill. The only downside is I didn't keep track of the cards I played, so I didn't know what was left in my deck. So I didn't know if, like, is this all the answers I have? Like, what's the rest of my deck? Like, what if he plays 2 more 4/6s? Like, those are his last plays. So I decided to just play it a little safe and just try to get as much value because I know I have 21 health. I have health to spare. And I was just really worried about the potential cards he could have. And here I'm thinking about doing like that with Circle of Healing and then Rocketeer, just to get a little more value. But yeah, I mean, here I think I do play it worse, less efficiently than it could be played for sure. But I'm just really curious, like what his last card is, and I don't want to let him do it. So like now I know after this play, I'll have a great idea of what are his cards. So here I was pretty happy he didn't play another creature, and if he did, I was ready for it. I could have did the 3/2 plus a bomb, and that'd wipe out the fairy and whatever creature he played. So I knew I was pretty good at this point, but I was still playing a little sluggish. I mean, I could have played much faster. I'm trying to think, like, is there any advantage to just dropping the A bomb right now, or is there any way he could just be holding a card just to surprise me? Just like, hey, I still have 8 damage. Just wait till I get low. I don't know. So I'm just like paranoid because obviously this is my first time beating him. So, but yeah, as you can see, I have a lot of good answers and a lot of good cards, and I just play them out one at a time just in case, like for some reason, he, like magically drops a creature, I need an answer to it. Um, this made sure I got that answer, but as you can see, my being ahead of him in cards is really important. And as the game like played out, I was pretty confident he must have a Blizzard in his hand, just because that's the only card I can see him not playing. 8 damage, you just play the 8 damage. A creature, you just drop it no matter what it is. And so the only card I could think he had was Blizzard. But sadly, I had no way to test it. But I'm pretty positive it had to have been Blizzard. So now we're both out of cards. And I'm like, should I play the A-bomb? Should I just sit here? I said, there's no point to play the A-bomb now. It's not going to make any difference. I might as well just wait it out. And if it turns out that he's going to die next turn if I play an A-bomb, then I'll just do that. So as you can see, like, I did make, I think, maybe one mistake at the end there. I should have killed that. I should have used the Abusive Sergeant into Bluegill to hit the 4/6 to make it a 4/2, and then drop A-bomb. And that would have killed the fairy and that guy very effectively, and it would have saved me 3 health. So even though I took 2 health from the A-bomb proccing, I would have been saved 3 health from the fairy, and I'd still have the Rocketeer and the Wolf Rider to deal with anything else. So that was a misplay. I think it's really important to try and catch your misplays. So if you ever record your matches just for fun, I mean, looking for misplays or just thinking of the match and the plays you did, you could always try to find those like small changes you could make. And here I'm healing myself for 2. He's way ahead of me, in this thing. Like I'm taking 4 and he's like 3 things ahead of me. So I think, what is he like taking like 7 or 8? Yeah, he takes 8. So yeah, he's just way ahead. Next turn he would have took 9. He would have took, yeah, you're just gonna deal tons of damage. He could have had a lot more health than what he had. He could have had probably like 50 health, maybe, or 60, and you probably still would have killed him. So that was the strat. Give me any feedback if you have questions or concerns. This was the deck list, but will post it in the description. And like I said, there are changes you can make. Like another Wild Pyromancer would be good. Another Shadowed Madness would be nice. If you can get those cards, you could take out the Mind Control. Another Holy Fire would be really, really good. And yeah, Mind Control would be a card to drop. And I don't know. The Harvest Golem was okay. That's why I only had 1. I kind of like the Nerubian Egg a little bit better just because it was cheaper and let me play 2 spells. A lot of my spells cost 2, so when I had 4 mana, I could play 2 of them. Anyway, that was the deck, and like I said, it took me a while to beat him, but good luck. You probably, like I said, have probably about maybe 5 to 10% win rate on that boss. So not the best, but it worked. Good luck.